Hey, it's Kathy. Now, we've all seen the videos where people talk about, I gained 500 to 1 million subscribers in 6 months or 6 weeks. I know when I started YouTube, I love to watch those videos. Everybody starts out assuming or even hoping that they're gonna be a unicorn. I started my YouTube channel December 17th of 2020. But 6 months into my YouTube journey, I realized I am not a unicorn. I have a lot to learn. I'm filming this video on New Year's Day, 2022. So I've been doing YouTube for over a year and I've uploaded over 50 videos. Now I think there's a lot to learn from people with fast growth, but I also think that there's something that aspiring YouTubers can learn from people like myself. Let me just tell you, starting and maintaining a YouTube channel is hard, but so worth it. Let's get to what I've learned from having a YouTube channel for a year. So I started thinking about starting a YouTube channel in April of 2020. The panoramic had just started. April of 2020, we were all unsure of what was gonna happen. So I was like, oh, it'd be really cool for me to start a YouTube channel. I ended up filming like a 2-minute video for somebody else's YouTube channel, but it never got published. And I think that kind of just gave me the bug. So from April of 2020 to December of 2020, I still hemmed and hawed, watched videos, and thought about starting a YouTube channel. So I finally got the nerve to just set up a YouTube channel and film my first video. My first video is 2.5 minutes of sheer awful, but at least I did it. That was the first time I was able to film a video, upload it to YouTube, and create a thumbnail. Going through that whole process showed me that it wasn't so hard. For most people, the hardest thing is filming a video. I have a couple friends who want to start YouTube channels, and I continue to tell them, film some videos. You may never upload them, but at least you've practiced setting up your camera, sitting in front of it, and talking to the camera. Just get started. I think what stops a lot of people is equipment. The advice I was always given was start with what you have, and I agree. All you need is a smartphone. I started filming my YouTube channels on this iPhone 8. I'm currently filming on an iPhone 12. From my first video to now, I edit with iMovie. I actually got the iPhone 12 for Instagram pictures, but I ended up using it for both, and it's perfectly fine. I think a lot of people are very intimidated and think, I don't know how to use a camera. Neither do I. We all can use smartphones. The number one reason most people tell you to just use what you have is that you don't want to have to learn new equipment in order to just film a video. Filming your first video is actually the biggest hurdle. I edit using iMovie. I know plenty of people who have YouTube channels, then you can tell that there is no editing of the video at all. The reason I haven't started to use a camera is real cameras require skills like color grading, things that I don't even want to touch. Another reason why you should just use all the equipment you have on hand is you are not sure if YouTube is for you. Before you film and upload your first video, YouTube is just some nebulous thing in your head. Filming and uploading a video makes it concrete. Filming and uploading multiple videos, even 30 videos, allows you to make a better decision of whether or not YouTube is for you. Well, I've met a lot of people who've gone out and bought fancy cameras and they don't know how to use them. I'm not planning to upgrade until I'm either monetized or I outgrow a smartphone. I'm still tweaking and learning new things about this iPhone 12 video and pictures. I'm at least 6 months away from that. In addition, I'm using iMovie. iMovie is free. I have 3 MacBook Pros, don't judge me. iMovie is free on that. It's free on iPhones, it's free on iPads. At one time, I thought about upgrading to Final Cut Pro. There are only 2 features that I really want in Final Cut Pro. Even after editing 50 videos, I still haven't reached the full capability of iMovie, so I'm okay. Do not let having just a smartphone and free editing software be the thing that stops you. Another thing a lot of people think that they need to buy is lighting. I do have a ring light. It's a nice ring light, but I'm gonna let you know. I started off using my ring light. I no longer use my ring light unless I'm like doing a live stream or something at night. I use natural sunlight. If you have bad lighting in your house, then you can definitely get a light. You don't need a fancy ring light. You can get a table light. I went to Vid Summit this year, which is like a YouTube conference, and they had these little lights that will fit on top of your camera. So I did go out and buy a mic. Truthfully, I don't need it. I use it sometimes. I think if I were filming outside or someplace else, I probably would need it. But for me, I film in my living room. Sometimes I can hear a bus or a train go by because I do live in the city. If something's loud enough where I think you're gonna hear it, I just stop talking and redo it. Even when I was using the iPhone 8, I felt like the onboard mic of it was perfectly fine. And I feel like the onboard mic of the iPhone 12 is great. I go back and forth using this mic. Sometimes I forget. I'm just gonna say it's not that big of a difference. I've never had anybody complain about my sound quality. Don't let the lack of a mic, a light, something besides a smartphone hold you back. Equipment should not be the reason you don't film. Use what you have. Everything else you can add later on and get started. The next thing I've learned is YouTube is a game of attrition. A lot of people who probably started YouTube in December of 2022 are no longer making videos. So many people are gonna drop out. When people think of YouTube, they think it's gonna be glamorous and fun. YouTube is a slog, let me just tell you. I get dressed up, I set up my camera, I film my video, I take pictures for my thumbnails, I edit, I upload, I write descriptions. It's a lot. Most of us who are starting off are doing it as a side gig. YouTube is enough work for a full-time job. When you start YouTube, you really have to have a marathon mindset. Meaning, don't come out too fast. Pace yourself. This is a long race. There have been some months where I'm like, I'm really on the ball. I upload at the right time every time. And there are some months where I'm just like, I'm so burnt out that if I don't take a break from YouTube, I'm gonna stop. Do what works for you and your mental health. So I have a degree in computer science, so I know a little bit something about a game of attrition. I feel like engineering degrees, and specifically computer science, they are trying to weed you out. Unfortunately, YouTube is trying to weed people out. I have a lot of friends who started YouTube like 5 or 10 years ago, and back then, everybody who started uploading was monetized. YouTube now requires you to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to be monetized. For a lot of people, that's gonna take you at least a year or maybe 50 videos or more. I have over 50 videos. I've been doing this for a year and I'm a little over halfway. If I continue at the same pace, it's gonna take me 2 years. I'm noticing that growth on YouTube can be more exponential. So I'm hoping maybe in 6 months I will be monetized. Cross my fingers. YouTube is not for everybody. Every Gen Z person now wants to be either a YouTube or TikTok star. I get it, it looks glamorous. When I started YouTube, I thought it was gonna be a fun, easy thing. It's work. In addition to that, YouTube requires a personality that's gonna compel people to watch you. Not everybody has it. The reason I started YouTube is because my friends were always like, your storytelling is so funny, you should film yourself. Say less. If I look at my old videos, I was very, very dry. I was not my same self. I feel like my videos now are very similar to my personality. I have had a lot of friends comment like, oh, watching your videos, it just feels like you're talking to me, which for me is exactly what I wanted YouTube to be. YouTube is a war of attrition. And if you accept that, you will be okay. So the next thing I learned is that in order to be successful on YouTube, you need to figure out what your secret sauce is and use it in your videos. I've always been into fashion. I've worked as a stylist. So I came to YouTube with a good understanding of how to make somebody look good in front of a camera. I'm not gonna lie, before 2020, I didn't like having my picture taken. I still don't like having my picture taken. I really don't love being on camera, but I know how to make myself look my best on camera. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll see that I try to make sure that I wear colors that look good on me, that are exciting to the eye. Sometimes I'll have props, and I definitely consider the clothes that I'm wearing with the props that I have in my hand. If you've ever done a photo shoot or shot a commercial or anything like that, somebody's picking out your clothes, somebody's dressing you, somebody's considering all those things. That is my secret sauce. Give me a thumbs up if you're liking my tips. One thing I have noticed is that channels that blow up quickly tend to have creators with video experience. If you're like me and you started doing YouTube with no experience, don't compare yourself to people who've been editing videos or behind the camera for 10 years. It's just not constructive. Figure out what you bring to the table. Your channel is your place to showcase what is unique about you. So definitely make sure you're showing off all your superpowers. Another thing I learned in my first year of YouTube is that your first 30 videos are gonna suck. That is very hard to hear. I heard people say that, I didn't believe it. I think like my 5th or 10th video kind of blew up. I went back to look at it and I was like, why are people watching this video? My videos in the last 3 months, I think, are of much higher quality, but the videos that get watched the most are my old videos that make me cringe. There's not much you can do about it. They're gonna suck. Deal with it. Another thing I had to do was I had to stop reshooting my videos. I would get a video and be like, oh, this video sucks, let me reshoot it. Well, let me just tell you, when I reshot it, it would still suck because I didn't know what I was doing. I had to learn that my on-camera ability was just not where it needed to be. Reshooting a video that was okay was only going to improve the video by maybe 10% because my ability was very limited. But in the beginning, I didn't know that, so I was like, I feel like every other video I was reshooting. And I'm not talking about having multiple takes of like the same section. No, I'm talking about a whole nother day I reshot it. It was a mess. The good thing about YouTube is people are watching for quality of content. The reality is if you're coming to a new YouTube creators page, you should not expect perfection. Like if I go to Jackie Ina's page, yes, I'm expecting, great delivery, great editing, everything top tier. But for the rest of us mere mortals, I'm just expecting good content. And I think most of the people are gonna give you that grade. In line with my first video sucking, I had to learn that every video is a learning opportunity. Every time I'm done shooting a video and I start editing it, I start thinking of all the ways that I could improve the video. That initially is what drove me to reshoot videos, but it wasn't working. So now I only reshoot videos if something awful happened. Unless my face is cut off or the lighting is bad. I look at it as a learning example. I maybe write down, oh, this is something I should do next time. And I go forward. YouTube is about getting better every video. If I look at my individual videos, I'm like, oh, they're okay. But if I look at video 1 compared to video 50, night and day. I've been at least 3 different people through my YouTube journey. That metamorphosis is going to happen. Don't allow the fact that your first videos suck to hold you back. So another thing I had to learn is that nobody cares about you in the beginning. I hear so many people saying, I can't start a YouTube channel because I'm afraid my boss or my friends are gonna find it. That's not how the YouTube algorithm works. Unless you're the only person making a video about this. A friend who did a YouTube video about Spider-Man movie. There are a billion people in this world who are interested in Spider-Man movies. So of course their video is getting like thousands of views. If you're doing something like that, you're gonna see thousands of views. You may not see a lot of subscribers, but you will see views. But that still doesn't mean your boss is gonna see it, because there are hundreds of videos about Spider-Man, the Marvel Universe, that they can watch from creators who have better quality and are more trusted with their content. If I do a video on the same topic that Jackie Aina did, people are gonna click on Jackie Aina's, and that's okay. I would too. It's a no-brainer. Your family and friends probably won't even watch all of your videos in the beginning. Views matter. My family and friends are subscribed to my channel, but let me just tell you, not everybody in my circle is into fashion and luxury, so I totally understand it. I appreciate the subscribes. Hey Joya, the craziest thing about people being afraid of their boss seeing their video is you want a video that has 1 million views. Anything else is uncivilized. You really have to ask yourself, what do you want? If you are showing your face and your YouTube channel becomes successful, people are gonna know. If you wanna be successful on YouTube, get over that. If you don't wanna be successful on YouTube, nobody's gonna see your videos. Let me just tell you, I've done 50 videos. I have videos with thousands of views. I have a lot of videos with 50 views. The YouTube algorithm is not gonna show your video to your boss just willy-nilly. There has to be a specific reason for the YouTube algorithm to show either your boss or your ex-boyfriend your video. And you just filming and uploading a video is not that reason, so don't worry. And truthfully, the YouTube algorithm does not like new YouTubers. Every time you upload a video, the YouTube algorithm is like,
I just came back from the dead and they told me, you still not that girl.
You have to prove yourself to the YouTube algorithm in order for them to show videos. So don't worry about this. If you want to be successful on YouTube, this is the one thing you want. If you don't want your family or friends or your boss to see these videos, then you need to really think showing your face on YouTube. But for me, baby, if my boss or 3 exes back sees my YouTube video, I know I made it. So another thing I had to learn about was topics are really, really important. A lot of people make the mistake of making YouTube videos for themselves. You need to make them for other people and think about what would other people want to know about this. Prior to starting my YouTube channel, everybody was saying, come up with like 20 to 50 topics. Everybody tells you to niche down, but when you first start a YouTube channel, topics go hand in hand with a niche. I am still in the experimental phase of YouTube. I am trying to figure out what people like to see from me. I do everything from like fashion to a small haul to even sneaker videos. Before I started YouTube, I came out with a list of at least 20 topics that I would do videos on, and I did those topics. Some of those topics did really well, and some of those topics got me 30 views. It is what it is. I always try to have a running list of topics, but there have been 2 times in my YouTube journey where I had no topics queued up. I think the second time it happened, I was dead in the water for 2 weeks because I was just like, I don't know what to film. You don't want to be in that position. You need to have topics. Your topics need to be kind of centered around what your niche is going to be. I like to think my niche is kind of like Kathy's closet, meaning clothes in your closet, shopping for your closet, cleaning out your closet, what have you. You need to figure out what do you want to be known for and come up with a list of topics geared to what you want to be known for. I came up with a list of around 20 topics. The first video that I did that had over 1,000 views was my closet tour video. That is what I would consider evergreen content. People watch my closet tour video to this day because it's not around something that's trending. There may be times of the year, like during around spring cleaning, where it may get a spike, but people still watch that video because it is evergreen. I now have a running list of evergreen topics that I continue to add on to. In addition to the evergreen topics, I like to sprinkle in trending topics based on things that are either trending or analytics. I filmed a video about my Macao coats last year. During the summer, the video got no views. Once the winter came around, my analytics told me that a lot of people are watching this video. I went and looked at the video and realized it wasn't my best video. It was probably like my 10th video that I filmed. The content was good, but my delivery has since improved, so I decided to reshoot it. So I have 2 Macao coat videos that people can watch. I still get people who watch the old one, and I try to funnel them into watching the new one. That is something based on analytics. But also trending topics. Trending topics can be anything based on something you see on Instagram, in the news. Because I talk about clothes, I tend to talk about a lot of designer collaborations, or a recent trending topic video I kind of just shoved in there was when Daniel Lee either quit or was fired as the director of Bottega Veneta. Nobody anticipated that happening. When that occurred, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sure the cost of his archive pieces is gonna skyrocket. Let me create a video talking about the pieces that I think people should invest in. I love doing the trending topics. So I feel like both trending and evergreen topics serve different purposes. Evergreen content is something that people are always gonna visit, like my coat video. With trending topic videos, you really have to be really quick to actually film the video, get it out. You will get a ton of views while people are talking about the topic, but when the topic dies down or people have kind of moved on to the next thing, the views are gonna die and you may see just like one or two, and that's it, right? You need both evergreen and trending topics on your YouTube channel. So create a list of the evergreen content. Trending topics, you don't know what's gonna be trending, so I feel like they keep you fresh. In addition to these topics, most videos that you're gonna be watching either tell a story, like a vlog, or do like a list. So a really popular video I've been seeing right now are my best purchases of 2021. That is a list. I feel like every niche allows you to do something along those lines. Even if you are doing just a vlog of your trip to Miami, you ideally want to tell a story. Once you have a topic, either write an outline, or if you are that detailed, create a script. I don't usually do scripts. I tend to create a very loose outline. Like I have an outline for this video on my phone. I have my bullet points, because this is a lot to remember. I sometimes create scripts for my intro and outro because there are certain points that I want to hit, but ain't nobody got time to write a whole script. There are certain people who do better with a script. It wasn't until probably like 3 months ago where I realized there are some people on YouTube who write a whole scripts and are using teleprompters. If I had a teleprompter, I'd be like, okay, these are the things that I've learned after a year on YouTube. Okay, equipment. In my mind, I feel like I do better with an outline and just saying things off the top of my head. You may think I need a script. You may think you need a script. Figure out what you need. But I would tell most people, just have an idea of what you're gonna write. An outline, even if it's the top 5 things that you purchased in 2020, just have those 5 things, because you don't want to be in a video like, damn, what was number 3? You don't want to be there. Think about your topics ahead of time. Have those topics planned, researched, outlined, whatever you do. That is going to make you so much more successful, because people are coming to YouTube for your content. They're either trying to learn something or be entertained. Have that thought out. So I think I do very well with topics. The one area that I struggle in are thumbnails. One thing I've started to do is brainstorming my thumbnails while I'm also working on my outline for the video. That's been very helpful. In the beginning, a lot of my thumbnails were just afterthoughts, a random screen capture of the video. Every video you've seen about how to start YouTube will tell you, take a picture, take a picture. I will admit, I haven't really done that. But now that I've been more intentional about having a thumbnail that's at least a picture, or even an idea of something that you can screen capture from your video, I feel like my thumbnails have gotten much better. Improving my thumbnails is something that I really want to do for 2022 though. Every video, I have started taking pictures specifically for my thumbnails. I usually have like 2 or 3 thumbnails because you never know what people are gonna gravitate towards. Play around with it. Play around with expressions. They say that most people click on thumbnails with like an emotion, like a happy, sad, excited, scared. You wanna feel like, oh my gosh, what happened? Do I need to click? You want people to feel that way. I'm still working on getting people to feel that way. It's a skill that some people just have naturally. I do feel like it's a skill that I can acquire. I've seen other people who started out bad like me and now have great thumbnails. So I know I can get there. I believe in myself. So another thing I've had to work on is end cards. Most people, when they watch your video, are watching one video. If a person gets to the end of your video, that means they like you enough to watch another video. So end cards allow you to kind of push people to related content. Like if you've had 3 videos, you're not gonna have a ton of videos for people to binge. So now that I have a lot of videos, I can say, okay, you like this Bottega Veneta pouch video? Well, check out my Bottega Veneta chain cassette bag video. And people do. For most people in the beginning, you're not gonna utilize them much. You're just gonna be like, check out another video. As you do updates to your videos, you're going to use end cards. I would say keep end cards in mind. For a lot of people, this is gonna be the first video you've seen of me. So the thumbnail and this video were my first impression. My end card is gonna give you a second impression. Make it a good one. Hopefully people like you enough in the first video. Click on the end card. And if you have it set up correctly and you have enough videos, they can continue to watch multiple videos of yours because you have an end card that allows them to binge watch your videos and learn more about you and fall in love and maybe subscribe. When you shop online, they always tell you, if you like this, here are similar items that you may like. And that's essentially what an end card is. It's very hard to market yourself on YouTube, so utilize your thumbnails and your end cards to market yourself and you'll be very happy. Leave me a comment if you're planning to start a YouTube channel in 2022. I'm trying to see something. So the last thing I learned in this year of YouTube is I need to focus on continuous improvement. Early on in my YouTube journey, I was always reshooting my videos thinking, oh, I'm gonna get so much better, not realizing the growth is very, very small. But over a year, the growth has been exponential. The reason the growth was exponential was because every video, I tried to become better on camera. Initially on camera, I was...
Hi, this is Kathy. Welcome to my channel. I talk about fashion and look.
No, because I decided I wanted my YouTube channel to sound like we're friends talking. I'm that extra friend that just happens to be overly dressed up wearing her New Year's Eve outfit on Zoom, but I want you to feel that way. So I worked to continuously get to that point. It took me at least 30 videos to at least start to sound like myself. You may have a great on-camera presence. I did not. I think I've gotten better. I'm still working on that, but that's not my number one focus. My number one focus for Q1 of 2022 are these thumbnails. I want y'all to click. I'm tired of y'all not clicking on my thumbnails. In the past, I know I've been giving people a compelling reason to click on my thumbnails besides the fact that, oh, she's cute, or you maybe accidentally fall into my videos, or it's search. So Q1 of 2022, I'm focused on improving these thumbnails. I'm focused on improving the color, the look, my expressions, whatever it is. I want y'all to click. In this fashion luxury niche, I know I can definitely do better, so that's it. There are so many things in YouTube to improve on, but if you focus on one thing and hit that hard, I still feel like I'm struggling a little bit with my thumbnails. But once I hit the point where I feel like, okay, I'm competent, I have a process in place, I know what I'm doing, I can move on to the next thing. You must have a continuous improvement mindset in order to do well on YouTube. You know, you are gonna get comments from people, like I get a lot of people telling me I speak too quickly. English is my third language. My first two languages are languages that are spoken very quickly. I'm a fast talker in real life. That's another thing I'm working on. That's part of on-screen, that's part of delivery. Look at your constructive comments and feedback as a way to improve. You also need to be able to look at yourself with a critical eye and say, what is not my best? You might not improve every video, but in 6 months or even a year, you will improve by leaps and bounds. Getting 1 to 10% better each YouTube video is what's gonna allow you to stay in YouTube long-term, make money. And that's the most important thing that I've learned in this year of YouTube. Thank you so much for watching my video about the things that I've learned after 1 year of doing YouTube. There are so many things that I left out. I didn't even talk about YouTube analytics or editing. Let me know in the comments if you want a part 2 featuring all the topics that I couldn't cover in this video. YouTube tips are not my usual content, so if you're interested in more videos that are more in line with my niche, check out my closet clean out tips video that I'm gonna link right here. All right, see you next time. Bye.